Here's a question. Can someone with no construction background realistically build their own house? And I'm not talking about just serving as the general contractor to do it. I mean actually building the house. My name's Alex, and that's exactly what I'm attempting to do. And whenever somebody finds this out, whenever I tell somebody about this, I always get pretty much, around the same reaction. It's something like, you're crazy, and why would you even consider something like that? But to me, the folks who don't do this are the crazy ones. And let me say why. So the first reason is I like to avoid working with shady people. And it seems like the majority of folks in, the construction field and kind of things around that tend to be kind of shady. They want to do kind of like the least amount of work possible just to, they don't care if whatever they do is going to fail in, a couple years or even a couple months. They'll be gone. They'll be moved on to the next sucker trying to bilk them. So some are just like incompetent, but some are actually like outright thieves. You hear all the time stories of general contractors who take money from folks to do something and then just kind of disappear. And that money, in those kind of situations, it's difficult, if not impossible, to ever get that money back. The next reason is about kind of like an ownership mentality. So, everybody knows who's going to take better care of stuff, owners or renters. Well, the owners, of course. Why? Because it's their stuff. Nobody cares more about it than they do. Now, I think that the same idea kind of extends to a lot of things, but certainly building a house, right? Like, who's going to care more about the outcome of that house? The homeowner or, a general contractor or a vendor, a subcontractor doing something where, your house to them is no different from the last one that they did or the next one that they're going to do. Whereas for you, you're going to be there for maybe forever or for a long time or whatever, right? I mean, it's typically going to be your most valuable asset. So you're going to care the most about it. So the third reason is about, building something that is truly custom and having control over a process. You think about it, and everybody to some degree is kind of like stuck in their ways. General contractors and subcontractors, vendors, tradesfolks, they're no different. And maybe the ways that they like to do things is outdated at this point. Or maybe it's fine, but it's just not the way that you want to do it. And in those cases, when you want something and your general contractor is kind of wanting to do something else, you're going to have some kind of conflict. And that conflict may result in, a strained relationship between you and somebody who you're now relying upon for some period of time. It may result in higher costs to you, and it may result in just like a less than optimal outcome or any combination of those things. So the best way that I can think of to avoid those undesirable situations is to just, you be in charge. Avoid that entire dynamic entirely, and basically just have as few cooks in the kitchen as possible. Reason number 4 is pride and a sense of accomplishment. In my mind, living in a house that you actually built has a real value. And, to the extent that, for instance, you have young kids, who will be able to see this process and maybe even participate in it, that's going to have like a deep and lasting impression on them. And look, I mean, when you pull up in your driveway, what's going to feel better if you're pulling up to a house that, you put your own blood and sweat into, or you're pulling up to a house that you just paid another man to build for you. And of course, the last category is cost. General contractors, when I was talking to them before deciding to kind of go down this path myself, they were talking about wanting, upwards of $250,000 just to manage the project. So that's an easy and clear savings just by cutting them out of the picture. And then similarly, any vendors or subcontractors, any of the tasks that you can actually do yourself rather than hiring out, the same principle is going to apply there. And, keep in mind that, there's that old saying, a penny saved is a penny earned. Well, that's not really true. A penny saved is better than a penny earned because you already paid taxes on the penny that's saved. You would have to pay taxes in order. So for instance, if I had to pay a general contractor $250,000, I'd have to earn something like $400,000 in order to pay him that $250,000. And then the same thing is true for any of the trades that you're cutting out. So depending on how big of a house, how expensive of a house you're trying to build, those savings can quickly add up to hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. I mean, maybe even into the 7-figure range. While cost is probably the first thing that people think of when I tell them I'm doing this, like, oh, you want to save money. And yeah, I mean, I do want to save money for sure. It's important. But that's not really the main motivating factor. It's one of the motivating factors, and I'd say less important actually than the other ones I've talked about. So that's why I'm doing this. And I realize that this is something that most people would never attempt. But I wanted to kind of like chronicle and document my experiences doing this in case there are any other crazy people out there like me who would want to go down this path. So if you're possibly one of those crazy people, feel free to check out the channel. Maybe there's something in here that's going to be helpful to you. And then similarly, if you have experience in any of these things and wanted to share it, feel free to comment, and maybe again somebody could see that and it would help them out. Anyway, so this house is not going to build itself, so I have better get back to work.